A man walks into a bar and disappears. No sign of struggle, no goodbyes, no trace, just gone. It sounds like the start of a bad joke, doesn't it? But for the people of Columbus, Ohio, and for Brian Shaffer's family, this isn't a punchline. It's a 19-year-old mystery that's never been solved. Brian Shaffer was 27, a medical student at Ohio State University. Sharp lad, easygoing, and bright as a button. His life was on track, a serious relationship, holidays on the horizon, and a promising future in medicine. But then, in the early hours of April the 1st, 2006, everything changed. Brian was out with his mate, Clint Florence. They were just doing a bit of a bar crawl. You know, the usual Friday night lark. Eventually, they ended up at this place called the Ugly Tuna Saloona. Odd name, I know, but it's a popular student bar near campus. They went in at around 1:15 a.m. Security camera caught them riding the escalator up to the main entrance. Brian, Clint, and another friend, Meredith Reed, laughing, chatting, nothing out of the ordinary. A bit later, cameras show Brian talking to two lasses near the entrance. Then he turns to walk back inside, and that is the last confirmed sighting of him ever. By Monday morning, when Brian didn't show up for his flight to Miami, the one where he planned to propose to his girlfriend, Alexis, alarm bells went ringing. His dad reported him missing, and the search began. Police combed the bar, the surrounding construction site, nearby rivers, not a trace. His flat was untouched, bed made, clothes folded. It's like he vanished into thin air. Now, here's where it gets more eerie. The bar had one main way in and out, covered by cameras and staff. Everyone was accounted for on that footage, but not Brian. No footage of him leaving, none. So naturally, theories started flying. Did he sneak out through the staff exit? Was he hiding in a blind spot? Could he still somehow be inside? To understand Brian's headspace, you've got to know this. Just 4 weeks earlier, he'd lost his mum to a rare cancer. He was obviously gutted, but mates said he seemed okay, all things considered. Still joking about, still making plans. Medical school's no walk in the park either. Stress piles up. People wondered, did he just snap? Did he decide to run away from it all? But if that were true, why no contact? Not even a whisper to his family. Or Alexis, who he clearly adored. With no new clues, the internet filled the void. Reddit threads popped up. Amateur sleuths took to the case like dogs with a bone. Some said he'd died and was hidden in the bar's construction zone. Others claimed he'd wandered off and fallen into a river. And then there was that Reddit user, Queen Bee, making bold claims about a pair of brothers from Ohio, accusing them of murder. No evidence, just wild speculation. Enough to land a defamation lawsuit in 2024, nearly 20 years later. Now, here's something most people don't know about Brian's phone. After he vanished, there were some pings from his phone in the following days. Not just weeks or months later, but right after he went missing, and close to where he disappeared. What's a ping, you might ask? It's when a phone connects to a nearby cell tower, letting the network know roughly where it is. But for that to happen, the phone's got to be turned on, right? So if Brian's phone was pinging around town after he disappeared, it means the phone was still switched on for a time. That tells us a few things. First, Brian must have left that bar, because if he was stuck inside or hidden somewhere there, the phone wouldn't be connecting to the towers elsewhere. And second, something happened to stop anyone getting hold of him after that. For nearly 2 decades, one of the most popular theories has been that Brian never left the bar at all, that he fell, perhaps into an off-limits construction site. Maybe injured himself, maybe died in some freak accident. Some even wondered if he's still in that building. Could he be behind a wall, under a floor, lost in some crawl space no one searched properly? But these phone pings throw cold water on that theory. One idea is that Brian decided to disappear, that he walked away from his life, overwhelmed by grief, medical school stress, and the crushing loss of his mother just weeks earlier. He'd been drinking that night. Maybe he had a breakdown. Maybe he had a split-second decision. Some people do it. They cut ties, vanish, reinvent themselves. But if that's what Brian did, there are problems. First of all, he had a plane ticket to Miami with his girlfriend Alexis. He was reportedly going to propose to her. His dad Randy said he'd never known Brian to be reckless or dishonest. And Derek, his brother, said outright he wouldn't do that to us. Now there's the practical side. Brian left his bank accounts untouched. No sightings with real credibility, no paper trail, no fingerprints, just a man who walked out of a bar and into silence. Let's start with who was there that night. William Clint Florence, Brian's close mate, the one who he spent the night bar hopping with, the last known friend to see him alive. He rode up the escalator with Brian. They drank together, they chatted with girls. Then Clint came back down the escalator alone, and he's never spoken publicly since. He lawyered up early and refused a polygraph. Now, let's be clear, that doesn't mean guilt. It could be legal advice, it could be fear, but it still ticks in the minds of those watching from the outside. Detectives said Clint wasn't cooperative at all. The Shaffer family said he avoided their calls. Even the public picked up on his silence, whispering, "What is he hiding?" But here's the frustrating part. There's no evidence that he did anything at all. No motive, no physical link, just a long, uncomfortable quiet. Now, let's talk about one of the most debated theories, suicide. Brian had just lost his mum to cancer only a few weeks before. He was grieving, under pressure in med school, and drinking heavily that night. Did he spiral? Did he walk off into the darkness, intending never to return? Some think so, but others say it doesn't fit. He was planning a holiday with his girlfriend. He wanted to propose. He'd made future plans. His brother said flat out that he wouldn't do that to us. And let's not forget, if he had done it inside the bar or nearby, someone or something would have found a body. Cadaver dogs, river searches, building inspections all came up empty. And this brings us to the darkest theory, the one that's quietly feared but hard to prove. Foul play. Some say Brian met the wrong person that night. A drug deal gone bad, a scuffle behind the bar, human trafficking even. There was construction around the Ugly Tuna at that time. Back stairwells, maintenance stores, cluttered exits. Could someone have lured him down to one of those hidden paths, gotten rid of him before anyone noticed? Police said the cameras didn't show him leaving, but that bar wasn't Fort Knox. There were blind spots, exits with no coverage. All it would take is one. Over time, the case drifted into online legend. Reddit became obsessed. Threads dissected shadows in video frames, timestamps, shoes, hand gestures, you name it. But today, with no leads and no closure, the Shaffer family has slowly faded from the headlines. Derek, Brian's brother, now carries the story, quietly, privately, and painfully. So here we are, nearly 2 decades later. Still no Brian, no body, no answers. Wherever you are, Brian, people haven't stopped looking. And for the rest of us, the question still lingers like a shadow behind a neon sign. What really happened at that night at the Ugly Tuna? If you found this case as chilling and as puzzling as I did, like and subscribe for more unsolved stories, and leave a comment below. What do you think really happened to Brian Shaffer? Thanks for watching. Cheers.